Welcome to another Garage Time with Goody. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be replacing the ambient temperature sensor on a 2013 Dodge Journey. Let's get to it. Okay, we are in a 2013 Dodge Journey. And the problem we're having, if you look at the touch panel, you'll see this temperature. It says negative 40 degrees outside. And unless we're in Antarctica, that is definitely wrong. So we hooked this up to a scanner and we got the code P0073, which means ambient temperature sensor. We're going to be replacing that. Okay, so we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver and the Pry Tool. We're going to put the Pry Tool underneath that plastic screw so it will want to come out. And then just go ahead and pull that out. You want to put these together. Do not lose these because you're going to need them to put the top of the grill back on. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to remove this plastic grill. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plastic fasteners that are holding this grill on. And you will need a Pry Tool and a Phillips screwdriver. And I will give you a link to this Pry Tool in the description video. You just pry this up. Like I said, I'm putting these where I'm not going to lose them. You do not want to lose your fasteners. You may also want to have some ordered, like I do, in case one breaks on you. See, I'm just putting that under there to be able to make sure it comes out nice and easy. I'm going to do that here too for all 5 of these. And we're working on the 5th and last fastener. Now once you have this, you'll see that there are clips in here. And if you want, you can put your hand in here and push on the clips and push them down and you pull out. Now don't use too much force or you could break the pins, but it just comes out just like that. And then the top grill piece is off and looks just like that. I'm gonna lay that on the ground. Now the front of the vehicle, your Dodge Journey will sort of look like this. This one's a little rough, or it was in a collision, but everything is okay on it. Normally, the ambient air temperature sensor is just clipped on underneath the bumper near the grill, but in this situation it's not there, so I'm going to have to take off the bumper and replace the wiring harness and the entire temperature sensor. The next step is we're going to start taking off the bumper. Now on each side of the Journey, you're going to have these plastic fasteners and you're going to want to take them off. These And what this does, it removes the plastic splash shield on the bumper. See, it's connected to the bumper here, and you're going to need to remove 1, 2, 3, at least 4, 5 of these plastic fasteners, so that you're able to take the bumper off, and then this will give you access to the inner screws. So there's one. You push that a little farther back, comes right off. If I have a problem, I'm going to want you to see it too, and so you can see how to deal with it. Like I said, I purchased some extra plastic fasteners in case we ran into any broken ones or we lost some. In this case, this plastic fastener is broken, and I'm going to pull it the rest of the way out with the pair of pliers. See, the top of the pin was broke off, and it looks like this one down here, if you can see it, it's like that too. Yeah, and it's real brittle too. So it's definitely broken. And I'm just fighting with it a little bit to get it off of there with a pair of pliers. This one's in there really good. There, I pulled the pin out, guys. The pair of pliers, and I've got 2 more to go. And you're going to be doing this on both sides. Okay, that one just popped right on out. It really. And there's that plastic fastener. Once that is off, we'll then be able to get inside here of your bumper, and you will see those nuts right there. I just wanted to show you guys a tip here. To get to that 7mm bolt, you can use an extension on that 7mm socket. Fits right on there, and voila, a lot easier to come off. Just wanted to show you. And here's the 7mm bolt. I'm just gonna put down. And there's another 7mm bolt that I found just now, guys. So actually what you're going to want to take out is a 7, 10, and a 7. There'll be another 7 right here, but on this vehicle it is broken, and I'm going to have to put a washer on there. That's how I'm going to fix it and put it back on. So you can see on the bumper as it's separating, and you can see as it's separating and coming down just like that. And you want to put the bolt where you're not going to lose it. Now, like I was saying, here is the 7mm that was broke on this little tab right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. And I'm gonna fix that when I put the bumper back on. See, that's just coming straight down. And as you can see, that's where the bumper, this little plastic piece was broke off right here. Actually, right here is where it went. I'm gonna fix it when I put that back together. Now, as you look around through here, you can see that's where this just clips up into here, and if yours is still stuck, you can just pull that out. There is no screw there, and you're going to want to repeat this on the other side. There should be foam in here, styrofoam, but it looks like the people who put this bumper back together didn't put that in there. So I have the styrofoam, and I'm going to be putting that back in there. Now, the same process I just done on the passenger side for the bumper, I'm going to repeat on the driver's side, and I'm not going to film that just to save a little bit on the duration of the video. Once you take the bumper off, this piece of styrofoam should be inside of your bumper, and it's not in there. Again, I got that at a local junkyard. Okay, as you're taking off the bumper, you will see that this is what connects it and holds it up, and it has these plastic edges that it connects and then holds the bumper on. Well, the front one was broken off on the other side, so this is why I'm showing you on this side. You have to reach pretty far back up under the bumper, and you're going to put your ratchet underneath and up through this hole, and it's going to be a 10mm, so there is another 10mm under there, and that's going to release the bumper so that it can come down. I'm going to have to replace this part on the passenger side because it was already broken. So an important thing you want to do once the plastic inserts are off, you want to make sure when you pull this bumper out, before you do, that you unplug the fog lights if your car has fog lights, because it will be holding the bumper on. And after you take the fog lights and unplug them, the bumper will come right off. And here's where the fog lights are, guys, right here. And they just have a clip, and you just push it in and unplug each one on each side. This is what I was telling you about underneath the car, where there should have been plastic inserts, and there wasn't any at all. And also on this specific model, there's supposed to be an ambient temperature sensor. It hooks in, the ambient temperature sensor hooks in right here, and as you can see, it's not on there because this was repaired from a front end collision by somebody else, and I'm gonna install that too. Set the bumper over here. Oh, and as you can see, I was right. The styrofoam piece wasn't in there as well, and I'm going to be putting it back in. So this is what your Dodge Journey is going to look like after you get the bumper and the grill off. Okay, one of the things that I was prepared for, you saw me earlier in the video when I looked down to find the ambient air temperature sensor, that it was not there. Well, this was in a slight front end collision, and when the people replaced the bumper, it looks like they cut the ambient temperature sensor off. That's why it's saying minus 40 degrees outside. So what you do is, a lot of people don't tell you, but I'm going to tell you and show you. You get the wiring harness to the headlights, and you'll see these two blue ones, and then you'll see this one that comes off here. Well, you follow this wire, this wiring path, and you'll see usually it's a purple wire and a purple and green wire. Now that is where you can rewire your ambient temperature sensor. It will take your engine code off, and it will be able to take the air temperature outside, and then your cooling and heating system will be able to automatically work instead of being stuck in manual mode. As you can see, guys, I ordered another part. This is what the ambient air temperature sensor looks like. And as you can see, there is that purple wire. There's that purple and greenish or teal kind of color. And you can see it matches up to right here. And that's going to rest on the bumper, near the bottom grill of the bumper. This just plugs right in. And remember, I'm showing you that it comes off the headlight wiring harness right here, because a lot of people don't show you, and sometimes it's hard to find, and you don't want to pay hundreds of dollars at a garage to fix this simple little problem. This ambient temperature sensor you can get for around 15, 16 bucks even at O'Reilly's or AutoZone. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And even if you need another wiring harness for this to plug into. Okay guys, right here is the sensor itself. These cost about $16. Then if you need the wiring harness itself, you can order them online too. And these are about almost the same price, in between $16 and $20. So for about a little over $30, you can fix a couple of $100 problem that a garage is going to charge you. So I'm just trying to help. Okay, what I'm going to do, since there's this much wire missing, I'm just going to cut this back because there's no wire in that to where I can get access to the wires. And remember, this wiring harness is located on the driver's side of the headlight of the car. Now, since these are different lengths, I'm going to make them the same length. And I'm going to use my wire cutters. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to turn the threads a little bit here on the wire. I'm going to use the wire cutters over here. And you know, you want to get about that much wire so that you get a good connection. The wiring harness. Okay, I'm going to make sure these two wires are even in length. I'm going to cut them down where the wires are known good. I'm going to use my wire cutters. Again, give it about a centimeter. That's what I give it of clearance, so that it will make that connection. Now, there are other ways to do this. Keep in mind, if you are a solder type of person, you can absolutely solder these. You can even take wing caps, or what are they called, wing nuts. You can use wing nuts if you want, solder and electrical tape. There's different ways to do this. Okay, next I'm going to take this little connector, these wire connectors, and I'm going to push it down as far as it can go. And then I'm going to take a pair of pliers and squeeze that in on there. Squeeze it down pretty good, and then see if you can pull that off easy. And if not, it's on there, it's making a connection, because there's a metal cylinder inside there where these two wires are going to be connected. That's what makes them touch. And the other one goes in. I'm going to smash that on there, and it's going to make a solid connection between the two wires. So I'm going to go ahead and put the second one in there. And I'm going to clamp that down. And again, give it that test. Now what I'm going to be doing is completing the connection. You're just going to color code these wires. Since this is green and purple, we're going to put this into the purple and teal color one, or you could call it green. And then I'm going to smash that down and complete the connection. Then I'm going to do the same thing for this wire, which you can see it's fully purple, just like this one. I'm going to smash that down so it'll complete the connection. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to verify that this is working. I'm going to go ahead and put the temperature sensor back into the wiring harness. It only fits one way, these grooves here, and should pop in. Listen for the click. And then that's in there. I'm going to set it on the bumper for now, right there. Okay, what I'm going to do next, there's many different ways to do this. You guys can get some plastic tubing, which will protect the wires from the weather and the elements, or you can use what I'm going to use, which is electrical tape. I'm going to take electrical tape and I'm just going to take it down through here and kind of wind it kind of tight to protect these wires from the weather and the elements. Another thing you might want to keep in mind, after you replace this wiring harness, you might have a little more slack than you would have originally with your original wiring harness, which there's no problem in that, and you can tuck that up wherever it's safely to do so, because in the end, when I put the bumper back on, this is going to clip on the bumper, and I'm going to show you guys where that clips on. So this happens a lot of times when they salvage these Dodge Journeys, and this is the simple way of fixing it. Okay, that is enough tape, and that is what it looks like now. I'm gonna go get my scanner, my ODB2 scanner, and I'm gonna reset the computer and then turn the car back on and see if it works. All right, now, one of the last parts is putting the bumper back on. Putting the bumper back on. So as you can see here, we have the bumper, and what you want to do is when you hold it up here, there is this place right here. And that is where the temperature sensor is going to go. You kind of want to put it on these little plastic latches right here to get it to hold itself up, so that you can get in and have access to the bumper. As you can see, we're under the car. It's jacked up, and I'm going to be putting all the plastic inserts into the bumper, and that's going to hold it up. You can see there's quite a few across through there. Okay, as you're putting the bumper on, you can see I've got the bumper on. One of the things you want to do is you want to plug in the fog lights on each side as you're pushing the bumper on. When you jack up the car, you will want to use jack stands for your safety. This is so the car doesn't fall on you, and that is very important. And then once everything is back in there and the bumper's back on sturdy, and you have all the plastic inserts back on, then you're ready for your vacation. Okay, what I'm doing now, I just have a scanner, and I'm going to be resetting the computer. I'm going to erase the codes. But before that, before I erase the codes, I'm going to hit the brake on this car, and this is the keys in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and start the car, and it should read the correct temperature outside. Let's see if I can. Do you see where it's saying actually 65 degrees outside right now instead of negative 40? That means it's working. But over here, you can see the engine light is still on right there. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to hook up the scanner tool and clear that engine code. Okay, I'm hooking it up. Now you'll not want to start the engine, but you'll just want to turn on the key. I know that's annoying beeping sound. And we're going to read codes. And the code says P0073 Ambient Air Temperature Sensor. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to erase codes, and it says, are you sure? I'm going to click OK, and please turn the ignition on with engine off. Press OK to continue. And then it's going to say admission related diagnostic information has been cleared. Okay, so I've erased the codes. So I'm going to turn it back off. I'm going to unplug my scan tool. Then I'm going to start up the car and see if the engine light is off. As you can see, the engine light is off. And as you can see, the temperature is the correct temperature. And that's how you fix that without spending hundreds of dollars. You spend about 30 bucks and about 2 hours worth of your time. I hope that this video has helped. If you have any questions or comments, then leave them in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel, and until next time, guys, have a good day.